This is Slim Shady LP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit is grimy. Like, right? Then when in the bro.
Slim Shady LP is Hi, my name is this.
Mushrooms.
Oh.
What's the other one? Role models.
Role models is okay.
Don't give a fuck. Still don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde is Slim Shady
97
LP?
Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I always had Slim Shady LP at third. It might not be third now that you running back the playlist. The
I don't know.
track list.
Marshmallow's LP is definitely number one.
No, Marshmallow's LP is by far number one. It's not even close.
And then for me, Slim Shady is number two. Slim Shady.
I always
they definitely got a Slim Shady.
I always had
Eminem.
Eminem show higher than it, but I think I might rethink that now.
It's not an Eminem show.
Is Drips on Eminem show?
Drips I think came later.
And Drips and Superman is on Eminem show. Eminem
Yeah,
show
Superman.
is,
Superman for sure. But
Superman is on there.
see,
I
that's
think
why.
Drips is later.
Drake flipping Superman is nuts. By
Yeah,
the way.
yeah. That was a hell of a part though. Everybody was singing along that part.
You have to sing along to that part because that's how fire that shit is. Oh my god.
My favorite part is, "Ooh, baby, run that game."
M fully couldn't exist today. That
Bro,
is
at
sick.
all, my nigga.
That's so sick.
That nigga's nuts, man.
Oh man. I want that Beanie Man delay he had on his microphone yesterday. That nigga said he had us thinking we was at a real dance hall. The Beanie Man versus Bounty last night.
How was it?
Fucking amazing. Like only they shit would actually have the cops show up and shit too. It's pretty tight. Yeah.
The cop show up?
Try to shut their shit down. And Beanie. See, that's what's fucked up about Jamaicans is that they, because of their accent, and then they kind of got this hippie almost type steez to them, so they seem harmless. Beanie Man immediately went into some gangster shit. Like he went from having shit lit, like just looking like the coolest nigga on earth, to like, don't be that guy. Don't be. But his don't be that guy wasn't like a, nah, we'll beat your. That was a, nah, we'll beat your ass in here on some bullshit.
On
Like,
top, just on the strength.
It don't, for whatever reason, is something about like Jamaicans' limbs that don't make it feel like it's mad, like overtly aggressive. Them niggas would kill you, bro. Like for real.
Hey, without a problem too. Like, wouldn't even think twice about it.
No, y'all. Let's start the show. It's the Meet the Brave podcast. I am Monty Draper.
I am LG.
Lex B.U.B.
Let's get it. Happy Memorial Day. I always get Memorial Day and Labor Day confused, but it's
For
definitely
sure, same
Memorial
here.
Day. Yeah.
Only thing I know is you can't wear white after Labor Day.
That's a thing still?
But then I don't know where the hell Labor Day is at, so I can't be telling you where you can't wear white at.
And nigga, who wears, I don't,
Why
pants is out for me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm not wearing white jeans nowhere.
Nah,
Why is it
I
that
ain't
you
put on my
can't
white
wear
pants in a
white?
minute. Huh?
Does anybody know why you're not supposed to wear white?
I don't know. Probably one of American
Because isn't Labor Day about
traditions.
not going to work or some shit? No.
Okay, we're revealing
I'm
a lot
really
about
off.
ourselves.
It should be, man. Let's do that shit.
We talking about the Beanie Man and
Fuck
Bounty
that for
Killer
the
shit.
week, man. You just don't go to work, man. Fuck work.
I
Everybody stay in from. Oh, we are staying in.
How's the week, fellas? How y'all feeling?
What's up, man? I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, I'm great.
Lex Bub, how was your week?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I woke up in time, man. Was able to, still do something. Nigga, I was seeing stars, man.
Last night?
When I finally got back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gee, my walk in the
Paul
house
gave up
was
on me,
sick.
man.
No, Poe should have gave up on himself. That nigga Poe just faded, big faded. That outing was for him. Like it was for him, and he didn't hold no punches about it at all. Like this is my day. Is basically what he was telling us, man.
Pretty much.
It was good. It was good to see everybody though. Yeah, it was just a good time. Like good wholesome fun. Niggas sitting in a circle, like like a half circle. Sitting in a half circle. It's impressive. Trying to be respectful of each other's space. Like, it's pretty impressive.
Niggas gotta get a phase 10 gang going at some point.
I'm trying to tell you. Niggas sleeping on the phase 10. Shout out to Todd, the cheater of
Big
phase
time.
10. Big cheat.
time, man.
Every time we play, fam had cards under his table, bro. That's sick.
Makes no sense.
Davey be cheating, too. So
Bean too, man.
matter of fact, let's see if they answer.
Like,
Damn, you guys just dry snitched on everybody.
Nah, ain't no dry snitch.
Nah, no, that's a
I'm
given,
telling.
bro.
I'm telling.
That come in the rule book of the game, bro. Like
I'm
watch those opponents.
Watch. See if Bean do like Tay.
Nah, Bean picking up.
No, how Tay? Remember how Tay answered the phone though?
Oh yeah.
Hey, hi guys. Good morning. They not answering. They on tuna.
They're probably doing Bikram right now or something.
No, seriously. That's how they giving it up. Interesting week. And news-wise, you guys don't seem to have anything personally take place, so we'll just jump into the shit.
Ain't too much personal shit right now, man.
Nah,
Just personal growth, but that shit ain't exciting.
that's what we hear. That's what we do the show for.
But that shit ain't exciting to talk about, my
Yes,
nigga. Like it's just exciting to see like what ends up happening from personal growth. That's the only thing that's exciting.
It's so.
Don't nobody want to talk about my day to day, nigga. My day to day is not interesting, my nigga. It's literally.
But your personal growth is in part. This sounds disgusting. It went from sounding like good, clean, wholesome to like don't ask me about my personal growth, my nigga. Don't say it like that either.
Hey, my nigga, give me a heads up on your personal growth, nigga. What's your personal growth be like? Hey, nigga, no, from now on, bro, just be asking niggas about their personal growth and see how thrown off they are.
So I'll talk about my personal growth since no one seems to want to
Please,
share.
man, elaborate.
And it's how I got one of the topics too. Emotions in business.
I did want to hear about that one. I like that one on the list.
I had some interesting conversations that sort of felt emotional, and for after when you think you're evolving, you think you're growing or whatever. One of the things that I've come to sort of understand is like, especially being in the rooms when negotiations are happening and you're trying to like determine value and stuff. You can't really bring emotions in those rooms as much as you may want to, as much as we may think it is, and it's unfortunate. Shout out to Mama Mona. She tagged me and Addie in Puff's. Puff put on his story like, "Yo, like move with more strategy, less emotion," and I reposted it because that applies to me. Like I knew why she tagged it. Like so many of my early decisions as far as music and even with the pod had hints of emotion in the decision making, and it doesn't behoove the process. And so I understood exactly what she meant. So I reposted it, and immediately was hit not by just one, but several people who were like low key outraged. And sort of proved the point of the post and didn't realize they were proving the point of the post. And it was like, oh. And so, but what I was happy about was like, and this is the personal growth shit. It's like, I didn't take them being upset personal. I was like, yo, hella respect your point. Part of me wanted to offer the other side to like count, but it was like, it's already an emotional conversation, you know. And I salute to the people who are like, yo, money ain't everything, who will do like all that, but still have this hopefulness about being able to compete and earn at the rate of a Joe Rogan, which we'll get to. That decision, that venture, there's no emotion involved in that. Everybody's like, oh, he's getting back at YouTube. No. There's nothing to do with YouTube. Spotify, we've been talking about it on this show for as long as the show has existed. Spotify has been leveraging to take over content as a whole. Everybody just fully slept on them, like, and didn't really see where they were coming from. As far back as my trip to Toronto, was in the building when they were closing the deal to purchase DistroKid. To purchase The Ringer, to purchase Joe Rogan, but like, you know what I'm saying, to acquire all these different entities that house so much viewership already, so much engagement. Like Spotify just saw what it was, and it's a lot like Netflix is banking on the creative, and it's unfortunate. it's unfortunate that so many of us will miss out on opportunities because it's because of the emotion.
Completely.
Niggas always want to use Dave Chappelle as a barometer. Like, yo, he walked away and then he was vindicated. Dave Chappelle would be the first one to tell you, like, that shit fucked him up when he walked away from that money. Like not realizing the how much it would affect everybody else. He talks about it stand up after stand up, from Neil to his family to the other comedians and other writers on the show. They talk about that at length, and he's like, I had to go away for 13 years for it all to make sense. You know, so all of these come at a price, and
luckily he was able to, man.
Exactly.
Like not everybody
to run it back
are able to. Not even just running it back, they're just not able to be able to take a break like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to get your mental health right and wrap your brain around what's going on. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you don't get a chance to have that opportunity, and you just got to keep running. You got to keep hitting all these things full steam ahead, and then not realizing that eventually you're gonna break the fuck down. Like all this shit keeps moving, my man. Like we are only human, bro. So like that shit eventually will tear you down if you are approaching life that way. If you're not approaching with your mental health first and foremost, then I don't know what the fuck you trying to do.
Man.
You know what I mean? I have zero clue. So that's why the folks that think that money is the driving force on things that you do is the reason why you be so fucked off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because what happens when you receive the money, bro?
Yeah. And you're still not whole. You're still not together internally. Like how that works, and it sucks because
more money is not more problems. Like nigga, you just have problems, my nigga.
You just have problems.
You just have problems, bro. You just never dealt with it. So yeah, money is just gonna accentuate. Like it's just gonna put an exclamation point on that shit. But it's not that because of money you have more problems. My nigga, is literally you already have problems that you're not dealing with, and then as you continue on, them shits compound and grow and become their own entity within you.
Yeah, no, that's what I was getting at, to the ownership, not of physical property, but the ownership in engagement. Like I no longer want to walk in to meetings and discuss, what my potential value is, what we're forecasted to do. I just don't care to walk in with that energy of taking offense to anything that a predominant white room is probably gonna have to say about what it is, what they have me valued at. I think about Monique and Netflix and like the fight that she won. Like, yo, this is business. This is strategy we're talking here. You fuck with chess? No? Oh, you probably should. Like, really go sit down and like talk. Let's talk strategy. Like, your emotions don't have no fucking place in here. And I thought I don't know. I found it fascinating because it was something where I had to have a bunch of conversations in and around business that felt real emotional driven, and it's funny to be in the other realm of it, where it's like you want to protect and defend and be emotional too, and it's like, oh no, that's not what this is here. It's funny because it was happening in real time, and like time kind of slowed down, and I'm going back and forth between the conversations, and these are like, I'm like, yo, I'm not about to text, let's get on the phone. So I'm on the phone, get off one conversation, get on another one, and one is emotion, the other one is business, and we got to a conclusion because we were talking business, and like, oh, that makes sense. I see where you come from. Let's work on this. Oh, damn, think about this. Like it was a beautiful sort of transaction where the emotional driven one, it just ended. It just was over. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it's like, damn, that's fascinating. And then yesterday posted that, had another emotionally driven conversation, and it was like, let me step away from this. And then watching so many people want to have conversations in and around the Joe Rogan thing, and I'm like, oh, y'all missing it. Like, everybody immediately is jumping to what Joe got. No, let's talk about what Spotify got. Because Joe shit is public. Like everybody's combing through that and like, oh, this is a win for.
I hate public, man.
Man,
I
this
really
is
do.
this is a win for content creators. Joe Rogan been doing this shit for 11 years, my nigga. He got 3,000 episodes.
He
almost.
has bread.
He's fine. He wasn't in there emotionally negotiating about this content that he didn't. He's been working on for 11 years of his. He's dedicated a decade of his, possibly more than that.
Nah, he put a stamp on his catalog.
Because he wouldn't.
This is just like another hook on his ring. Like that's it. Like
because when you're not,
it was powerful for both sides. That's how
Yeah.
that's how beautiful it was. Is that it literally was a power chess move for both sides.
And no one's talking.
That's
about
how you know that there was no emotion involved.
In 48 hours of announcing their deal, Netflix stock jumped almost 18%.
Spotify.
I'm sorry, yeah, Spotify stock jumped almost 18%. That's the equivalent of about $5 billion, y'all. Mm-hmm. No one. Excuse me. In 48 hours of announcing the partnership with one content creator. All right, man, we gotta have a different convo here, and like how this is affecting everything. Mm-hmm. Like this ain't just podcasts. This is shifting music. Everybody's been in an uproar, and we talk about it at length on the show, like trying to figure out what it means, what this means, what is happening to music because of streams, and artists don't know. Artists are looking at this too, like, wait a minute, 100 mil for some long form 3-hour podcast? Okay,
That's at the low end. They're saying the low end is 100 mil.
Come on,
Because they don't have no exact number of what he got, but they just know.
they're
I
speculating.
knew,
was
I
at
knew for
least-
sure, bro. It wasn't 100.
Yeah, because you got
100 just sound. That's just a good number to throw out there for everybody to be in a frenzy about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not talk about nothing as far as like what residuals are and like all the shit on the back end of this. And
what bonuses if they
That
he can
part-
drive.
They never talk about that.
we ain't talking about no bonuses.
Even the sports contracts, they never really break that down with they do it the reverse with the sports contracts. They go this is what they could potentially earn.
Yeah.
But there's certain milestones and things in those contracts that you got to play a full season. If you make Pro Bowl, like that's why niggas be pressed to make Pro Bowl. Like that bonus for making a Pro Bowl be sick sometimes. It'd be the difference of like, we gonna go buy another crib or some shit. You know, it's all these things that emotionally driven people can't unpack because it's operating with a bunch of fucking emotion. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. If you don't want your emotions suppressed, excuse me, but and that's not even to be dismissive because I know what that feels like too. But there are places.
I mean,
for
you should have emotion, like be emotionally vested in like your significant other,
facts.
And your children.
Facts.
Yeah. Maybe the people that birthed you. But yeah, this shit is business, man. Like everything, the sooner you can get to that point and understand that how much of this shit is built off of no emotional investment in any individual whatsoever, the better for yourself. But they'll use your emotions though. So if you show your emotions, best believe it's somebody that's using them, puppeteering them. So. Yeah.
What do you?
Oh, you know what I did come across though? I realized, man, finally, why people have the damn bag on the chest, man. I realized it finally.
What is it, G?
Because I'm pulling out all this leisure wear, right? So I'm wearing leisure wear until 2021. Like I refuse to put a jean pant on anything.
The fact that my man is in here calling it leisure wear is sick.
Bro, I'm about to be leisure, bro.
Yo, you're a sicko. I'm just gonna point that out.
I'm about to be leisure, man. So I'm realizing now though that leisure ain't got no back pockets, man.
So you getting a fanny pack is what you're saying.
Hey, man, it's coming.
So deal, my goddaughters. When I first start wearing it, Uncle Gotti, what's in your purse? Excuse me, little girl. Mind your business. First of all, her dad fell out his chair laughing, bro. So he texted me. Dill texted me the other day. He goes, "I take back everything I said about the fanny pack." And then he sent me a picture of fucking Tom Hardy walking down the street with a fanny pack on. I was like, "See, there you go."
It takes
Had me feeling self-conscious.
Hey man, it took me a while to get on board. I was not a part of the wave, man, but now I understand. I need somewhere to put my essentials
Because you got leisure wear on.
Because everything fall out my pockets, man. Like, I'm tired of trying to find shit in my car while I'm driving.
Because you want to wear leisure wear.
Yeah, I'm leisure as fuck, bro. I'm about to be laid back.
But Lex, you had a good point back to the Rogan shit. What do you predict for podcasts and creators as a whole? How do you see a big shift coming, or do people need to get a grip and realize that Rogan's value is what it is for a reason? Like, is it? Do you think it's crazy for people to start like jumping out the window and like thinking, oh, this means us too? You know?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think it's a little bit of column A and column B. Because obviously it's showing that Spotify is serious about what they're doing with podcasts.
Yeah.
Because Joe has went on record saying, like, people have offered to, like, buy out his podcast, and technically Spotify didn't even buy out his shit.
No.
But
This is not a buyout. Now,
Yeah.
people gotta stop saying that.
Yeah.
This is not a buyout. They didn't purchase it. They're licensing it.
Yeah. But, you know, and he said, oh, if somebody wants to license it, it's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, that's all he said. And he even said, I'm not even concerned with money like that. So that's why it has to be
That's
a lot
why
of money.
This again, take the emotion out of it. Hey, I don't really want to do it, and if you want to do it, it's gonna be pretty high. And then whoever can pay it, cool. If you can't, no big deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out some wild demands and see what comes back.
I bet you he was like, tell him 300 million, I'll think about it. And they're like, oh, here. And they, okay.
Okay.
And how about unlimited purple jelly beans?
Just the
Like,
purple.
just throw random ass shit out there and see like if that's, you know.
But I want the COO to pick him out himself.
Yeah.
Or herself. You know, like that,
Yeah.
like random shit like
Like
that.
every time I open anything to drink, I want somebody to run up and put an umbrella in my shit. Every time.
That's
like-
literally the shit.
But you know what was so tight about it? It was like the announcement was like, "Hey, just want to let all my listeners know," and it was at the front of a great episode too. I think that's the other thing. It was after the Tony Hawk episode and then right before an episode about content. You know, I thought that was so fascinating. But I thought again how much of whether it be Tekashi 6ix9ine, whether it be COVID, whether it be the presidential election. And then something like the announcement, what that announcement did
Bro,
was
listen to
reveal
them tornadoes, bro. Tekashi, COVID, and Trump.
Tekashi, COVID, Trump, and now
damn.
Spotify and Rogan. Oh man,
Them tornadoes.
what all of those sort of moments did though was reveal a lot about the public. I never can go 6ix9ine's doing this. People. They gonna do what they gonna do, but how we can take ownership of our reaction and how we engage with shit, and I stand firm. And it's funny, we just laughed at it, but I stand firm by all of those things being connected in terms of the sheep mentality, of how what a currency engagement is, and we still don't not understanding that is what is affecting people the most, people's potential to earn the most, not understanding the currency that just sheer engagement has. And that's what Zuckerberg and him figured out early. It's like, oh, this is just engagement. Marketing is just engagement. The more traffic, the more eyes you can see, the more potential to earn. So bet we can just throw money, because the money then that really reveals money ain't real for real, because of how marketing has driven everything. Where it goes, all right, the whole world stops to watch the Super Bowl. All right, bet our ad slots, our commercial slots go up 1,000% during the Super Bowl, and people fight over these particular slots and put all their, like, companies have marketing dollars set aside just for Super Bowl Sunday. This is one day we're talking about, because you got all the eyes on this one event. So your potential to sell your product, brother. I text Elle and them on Monday. It was like, fam, you ever think about where the cars go? from a car lot? Like, because they don't sell the whole fleet of the 2020 whatever, the 2020 Ford Fusion. They don't sell all the ones that they make and ship to all the dealerships. They don't. You drive by a dealership, and the fleet sit there. So where did it go? And then L immediately was like, fam, they just sent that shit back and repurposed the parts for the 2021. It's like, oh, that makes sense.
Makes complete sense.
So this shit don't be. So you mean to tell me if this motherfucker, like they again, there's no emotion. I'm not pressed to sell this, so you can come in here and haggle all you want to. I got a window. It's the sticker price is $42,000. I probably could negotiate with you to like 30 is our baseline. But we ain't going above 30 because when in doubt, we'll just send that motherfucker back and repurpose the parts and then put it back at 42 next year.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, because they only making like small adjustments from year to year, so it's not like a big leap.
The grill changed.
Yeah.
But it's I just think it's fast. It's a fascinating thing to look at when we're constantly being sold and sold to, and when we don't realize it, it's truly fascinating when you can see how it affects the presidential. Joe Biden then lost his fucking mind. Again, it reveals a lot about us. Kanye don't look so crazy now, does he? It's exactly the point he was trying to make.
Kanye's primed to run after Trump.
Oh my gosh!
Like
you
prime. If you don't see this nigga building his candidacy now, I don't know what the hell people is looking at. Because like he's doing the perfect setup to be able to run eventually. Which is why when people start laughing at him about that, I think it was dead ass. Like, what y'all laughing about?
They laugh, but they the same way they laughed at Trump though.
True, exactly.
And Poe brought up a great point. It was like the Jesus is King shit was a nonprofit. They ain't paid no taxes on that whole tour, fam.
Bro, he ain't pay taxes on that. He ain't pay taxes on Yeezys. He ain't pay taxes on shit.
And we still talking about emotions. Y'all mad because
he ain't had one outburst, nigga, about anybody not investing in him, nigga. None of that shit.
Said nothing. Ain't said nothing.
That shit went right out the window, nigga.
He looks saying now, Joe Biden on there telling if y'all don't vote for the Democratic, but you ain't black. Yo, you just let the cat out the bag. If niggas didn't hear Ye before it, if you still think Ye was tripping when he's talking about that shit, it's like, nah. How you gonna bully me into something and you really ain't, and you worse than the motherfuckers you like Trump is just overtly with the shit. Y'all trying to be covert about it, and now this nigga done blew up y'all whole spot.
That's why I do the background. He was like, no.
hey, his advisor, whoever that was, that's the best part of that.
Yeah.
Whoever that is in the background trying to get, like, come on, hey, Charlamagne, we gotta shut this down.
You know that nigga was sweating. Just turn it off. Turn it off.
He fell into comfort, man. Like spending all that time around the Obamas, man. Like the Obama administration, bro. Like it just kind of it threw him off, man.
When the devil shows his hand, man.
Bro, like he was in that room with he was on that live with Charlamagne, man. He lost his mind, bro. Yeah. Like literally forgot that he was who he was.
And then the fucked up part is to watch everybody go, yeah, but because of fam, we still gotta vote for him.
Because of what?
Because of Trump. They still Trump is so bad in their eyes. They go, the lesser of the two evils thing feels strange to me, there are a bunch of people that are educated on politics that know way more than I do. So, whatever information y'all have, please feel free to offer it. Call in next week and flame me for everything that I'm saying right now. I just this ain't an emotional thing. This is going, that was trash.
Complete.
That was trash. Clinton and them was trash. Seriously. The laws that affected, because everybody's going in real time. Oh, unemployment was shrinking with the Clinton administration, no, fam, but no, we're talking about like we're still talking about prison reforming, like prison systems. We're still talking about that in 2020. Guess who's that's because of 3 strikes law and all that shit. Like, come on, man. Like, it's a lot of different things that we need to discuss. And this I just sound like some pro-Trump shit. Fuck that nigga too, for sure. Like, I just the Joe Biden and the Democrat and the left, like how they're moving. Hey, this shit feels crazy. And
I'm hella looking forward to a Kanye president with Kim K as the first lady. I'm looking forward to that shit.
This motherfucker might burn.
With her topic being prison reform, oh, they might shoot to the top of the list. They might shoot to the top of the list, bro. They gonna be stamped in history. Eight-year term.
And nigga, cause I'm telling you, I stand by this because niggas don't play chess. This is hilarious though. All the slaughterhouse standing behind Eminem, and that's why.
Look at Joe.
That's why Joe hate him. That's why Joe hate him. He had to stand behind him while he was on the track with Wayne and Drake and Ye, and bob his head. Look how they bobbing their head though.
Bro, look at my nigga's hands though.
and
Like, Joe hella extra, man. that wasn't part of the script, my nigga.
I feel so bad. I understand why this nigga's mad now.
Hey, man, that was the way.
Hey, this is the Black Republican show. This is crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. The
more we talk,
I halfway realized what I was like, oh, this gonna sound so sick tomorrow, boy.
The more we talk, man, the further along we go.
Can you really confuse what can literally, like, if somebody wants you to?
I was about to say, yep. I was waiting for you to finish, Lee. I was gonna let you finish, man.
Hold on. Hey, Uncle Rick, before you don't say nothing crazy, you're on the podcast. Say what's up to everybody.
Oh, okay. I was just letting you know I saw you at church this morning.
Hey, Unc, I'm a rapper. You can't be telling the people I went to church, man. What are you trying to do to me?
Hey, man, I gotta know you got a good side too.
Hey, love you, Unc. I'm gonna call you when we finish the show.
All right, love you too, man.
All right, man. That's funny. So you guys both like immediately said, yeah, like, duh, Monty, what are you thinking? Like, of course this can be taken and flipped. Like, can it for real?
They can flip anything,
bro. We just had a whole segment on emotion, and who is considered the most emotional base?
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there because you about to jump out the window.
All right, man.
Gee, for real, it can happen,
bro. The left does everything on emotion, like driven. Non-stop by emotion.
Damn. Y'all just
the right doesn't have enough. Nigga, like you probably can't find a soul in that building.
No empathy on the right. Too much emotion on the left.
Oh, that's as simple as that.
But that was essentially Joe's point. Rogan we're talking about with the YouTube thing. The danger of choking down information and not allowing there to be, the freedom of speech, literally the First Amendment, to arrive at the right answers, like the natural process of the natural selection process, like not allowing that to take place and not allowing people who are informed on these on these topics to engage in open debate to arrive at the right answer, like being an advocate for everybody being entitled to their opinions and their perspective. Somewhere in the process of filtering through all that information lies the actual truth or the actual facts of the matter. So being an advocate for the truth or the facts now makes you anti everything because you just want to advocate for free, like actual freedom. What did you say the other day? Freedom is Ownership of self. El said that shit just in there, like we just kicking shit in the group chat. And El goes, yeah, freedom is ownership of self, nigga. That's it. So that's all we've been advocates for. So if that can be taken and flipped into something else, that's nothing but emotion. If you can take that pure base of information, freedom is ownership of self. What we discuss constantly on this show, and just throw that out the window. I can't do nothing for you beyond that. I can't do a thing for you beyond that. Honestly, I don't know. So it's an interesting thing to think about. But we see it all the time, and you go, that's not what happened. Like, that's not what was said. Mm-hmm. You know? Just the lack of regard for that context. And I think I think about that a lot in regards to Ye, especially, of how quickly we can all enter into writing that story and going, oh, bruh's crazy. I don't know. I'm truly now that I'm thinking about it. We just arrived here. I'm stumped now because it's like, damn, that's really what took place.
As much as people said that Ye was crazy, I don't think that would be the hardest of group of people to get them to turn back over to your side.
No, that's the point.
He's not so worried about that part. Like, it's the people that he actually had to move over to recently that got him like to this stratosphere. That is the group that you would be able to do that.
Would be fleeting.
Yeah, they once they dip, it's, you know, you don't really have that much of a window. You know what I mean? But you gotta, like, that's where people get angry though. At least on like the side that's so angry with Kanye is just that they look at that as like kind of like you would say like an Uncle Tom type of situation, or kind of meander into a certain base, which would then hurt your base that you grew up, that basically put you on a pedestal, basically. So that's where their problem lies.
Yeah.
But without understanding, same thing they did with Jay-Z, but without understanding the chess game that you have to play, and whether you believe in the group that is now holding you up now, whether you believe in what their views are, that part isn't important. It's really about getting to a certain goal. So you don't allow people's emotions around you to affect the goal that you're trying to obtain. Because you're an individual, bro. Like you don't have many people to actually answer to tell you the truth. Like you're really answering to yourself. People get too caught up in the fact that there's all these different voices that are shouting at you. Why are you taking into account every single one of those voices? Like, after a while, it really just becomes a large group that's yelling at you. And then the more that people are yelling at you, that shit just drowns the fuck out. It doesn't become just loud noise. I just see it as, bro, like, once you have a goal, you literally just obtain it, my nigga. Like, that's literally what it is, bro. Just obtain it. My nigga saw a goal, he's obtaining it.
Yeah. Why is that so threatening to the masses though?
Partly envy. It's the same thing as like when a parent goes super hard on a child. It's kind of like it was because they see the child as, you know, something that held them back from something that they wanted to do. But it really wasn't the case. You know what I mean? Like, you literally damn near held back yourself. Not want to put it in that type of term, because anything could have happened. I don't know. Everybody's situation is different. But when you do go that hard at a child about something that you wanted to do, and you're putting these things, projecting these things into your child, then that's where it comes back as. Like, that's literally, it was a boat that you missed, and you want them to get on it and then live vicariously through that. Yeah. I think that's kind of what it is with Kanye, is that when you put out that first album, first 3 albums, they were so inspiring that folks thought that he should just stay in that realm and continue to inspire them, without understanding that eventually we have to move past inspiration, bro. Like, you can't, think about it. When Kanye came out, if he was still doing it right now, you would say, what is that? 15 years? 10 years? 15 years? 15 years? So you telling me for 15 years I'm supposed to inspire you?
17, yeah. Up to, yeah. Jesus.
I can't move on from it, bro. By now, you in your 30s, your 40s, bro. Like, I'm still inspiring you at that time. Oh, you're a lost cause. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I've been had to get off that wagon. I can't inspire you for 15, 17 years, my nigga. Yeah. Fucking detached mentor. Nigga, what am I looking? What am I doing here?
But you posed a great question, G, where it was like, because now we talked about the left, we talked about the flaws of the left, we talked about the flaws of the right. So for us, what's more dangerous though? To believe in something or believe in nothing? You asked this. What's more dangerous at that? If we saying this about the left and the right, what does that say about us? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking y'all because I don't know. I'm at a place right now where I'm like, yo, niggas is so far out there, and to want to have to settle for a lesser of evil, it just don't sit right. So am I causing more harm? Is that more dangerous to not pick a side?
All right, so let me just give you insight on like where my brain was when this came up. So I'm thinking, and it's like people are so into believe, like you have to like believing in something, right? So you would think that somebody that believes in something would be like the one that is the route that everybody wants to take, right? But if you think about it, the people that believe in something are, I would say, are super dangerous because like you can literally the belief in something can drive an entire group of people to do something that is terrible out of just the belief. And then the belief in nothing, like someone that doesn't believe in shit, is the one that people kind of go against or whatever. But that's an individual that doesn't really carry. It doesn't really carry folks over. Like it doesn't like multiply.
Yeah.
In my thoughts, I don't know. Maybe it's different. But I was thinking of that from. What was I thinking of that from? Because I fucking lost it. Shit, go. You had something, Lex. No, okay, my bad.
No, you bodying it right now because the when you, especially when you frame it as being an individual, like because the KKK are killing in the name of like feeling like they're the superior people and
That's where I was going.
Terrorists and ISIS and all this shit. The name of what they're killing. You know what I'm saying? Not and some of them believe that. You know, and you're right when you say
my bad. Isn't that the driving the I'm just thinking of like the driving force for it. So like being able to pinpoint like religious acts and be able to point that in a direction to me just feels super dangerous.
Kevin put me on the power of the myth, and this I don't know, I don't even know what Brez's name is. I gotta find it. But he's dedicated his whole life to theory and studying religion, like going to be immersed in the cultures of religion. And then what we've always said is like, yo, all of these stories are exactly the same, just the name of the main character is flipped. And then all of the stories inside this larger story are all metaphors about just tapping into a higher conscious of self. And it's so funny, like the burning bush, David and Goliath, like beautiful metaphors. Like this is not the shit on the Bible, and like these are beautiful metaphors we talk about, but metaphors nonetheless that promote and advocate for really tapping in and doing the work. Like again, ownership of self. We right back to where we started at. And for people to displace that responsibility in that ownership on something or someone else is where I get confused. It's like, wait, what's happening here? That was always, mommy. That's why I fuck with my mom so tough. Like we had these conversations at length, and I was just talking about why church was so confusing for me up until the point she found a revival center. And that's hella funny. My uncle calls like, yo, I seen you at church this morning. It's like, I don't promote it. I go for myself. I tap in for myself. Like I really appreciate the conversation that group of men have and how they talk. They speak candidly. It's not this they're not removing themselves from the ownership of doing their work. And I love that part. I appreciate that part so much. But that's not how everyone's giving it up. But my mother allowing me to tap into my individuality allowed for me to go experience all these other things, denounce faith at one point. I'm so ashamed to admit it, but that's exactly where I was at one point. To denounce it, only to have my ass handed to me and end up right back where I started at, where my mother tried to put me in the first place, but didn't force me to stay there. I had to go figure that out for myself. You know what I'm saying? And so to believe in something or believe in nothing, what's more dangerous? And it's such a powerful tool. Faith is powerful in the right hands. It's dangerous in the wrong hands. Meditation is powerful in the right hands. Breathing techniques, amazing in like when you need them for real, like when you feel yourself being overwhelmed and when you know how to breathe properly, you know how to quiet your mind, bro.
So important.
That power feels like nothing else,
bro. So important, man. The breathing exercises are amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Shit, from someone who has had panic attacks, bro, like that shit is like amazing to have. And then also someone who has had like I used to have like bad teeth grinding, right? Like to the point where you gotta like wear a mouthpiece and stuff like that. But like, and I still hear like people have those type of issues or whatever. Like it's a common thing that people tend to have. But what I found out from my particular situation was that it was built off of stress. Like I didn't realize how stressed I was as a kid. Like I had zero clue until later on that the entire time that I'll be grinding my teeth at night was literally because I had so many different things that were on my mind that just constantly was on repeat that I wasn't actually dealing with. That I would, when the lights went off, basically, so when I went to sleep, I would have these crazy dreams that I can't remember that would make it so tense that my jaw would be tense, and that's where the grinding part would come from. Like I'd have dreams of like fucking grinding and like waking up and my entire mouth was just to the gums. I've had that dream so many times as a kid. Is nuts. Wow. And then like later on when I was dealing with like my issues and shit like that, best believe like now like I don't grind whatsoever, and that comes from like literally figuring out stress techniques where like I'm in a high stressful situation. But like it doesn't feel that way. You know what I mean? And that it's crazy how many things that you learn just about yourself that's super helpful, that can probably be passed along, or just like it could be helpful techniques in the future to combat stress. Because I would say that shit, our community is so fucking stressed out. It's crazy. You know what I mean? And we don't tend to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like we just suppress it in our entire lives.
How to deal with it though, G? Like you just said it. We so much trauma, so much stress, and Lex had a great thought in terms of like, yo, why are there only guidelines for Black people on how to be who we are? Don't nobody else have guidelines on, like there's no one else gets handed a fucking set of rules like, yo, this is what you got to be to prove your value as a Black person. Like if you don't check these marks off, you can't be Black no more. So much so to the point where the somebody running from president that is white feels comfortable to say that. That's nuts.
And then look at Charlamagne like, don't act like you don't know
this.
You know what I'm saying here.
Bro, that chuckle afterwards, like, yeah, like right? All right, back me up, Charlamagne.
And it's everybody wants to know why Charlamagne didn't stop. Like,
but
I go ahead.
I just want to say, Charlamagne as a reporter, to make Biden feel that comfortable.
He did his job.
He did his job.
Great job.
He did a damn good job. And that's what I wanted. Everybody was like, yo, why he ain't go in on him? No. Again, this not for, I'm not, he gonna hang himself.
Yeah.
He just did it. I don't have to do nothing else. Y'all gonna get him. And I thought that was such a brilliant, perhaps Charlamagne had another reason for doing it, but I thought that was brilliant that he didn't say anything. That's not, because again.
Yeah, his instincts were correct in that moment.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, you got him. And I thought it was poetic justice because Charlemagne has been sort of on like waving the flag of like, yo, Ye saying some ignorant shit in regards to like the presidency and like his political alignment and all the shit. I thought it was poetic justice that he was trying to give a platform to the Democratic candidate on the strength of being a Dem and like going against the right, and it's like, this is what happened on your platform. You gotta go talk about this now. Every show, every interview that he does come Monday, that's all everyone is gonna talk about. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to answer for it, and I'm gonna have to at some point somebody gonna have to connect the dots for real and go, oh, Ye was talking about individuality on as a whole, because only black people our emotions get leveraged for other people's advancement, not ours.
Only black people do you even feel comfortable directing this? Nigga, there is no other. There's not a culture that you just direct like that, bro. Like niggas ain't out here directing you, bro. Like maybe in China they're directing people and they're in a dictatorship, my nigga. But like there's not like nobody's just directing people in the U.S. like they're doing African Americans.
Yeah, it's only us. It's only us, and because of those mythical rules we talked about, like this is the denomination you got to belong to. This is how you got to speak
from the beginning,
from the rip. It's all these rules, and you're like, wait, what? Like, who established these? And yeah, man, I thought that was fair. What context were you pulling that?
No, you knocked out the park. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Got you.
From seeing that, I was like, okay, and that's what made me write that in there. See,
damn, that's fascinating. But
hey, I just wanted to say real quick, man. I just dig our cohesiveness from our topics to this group, man. Like we put out there in the atmosphere, bro, and that shit just rocks.
I just want to say, when a nigga tell you, I just want to say, he got something to say.
Yeah, bro. You know, like after that, you might want to listen to what the nigga got to say, bro.
I just want to say.
Nigga don't usually give you a prerequisite. You know what I mean? Prerequisite to what nigga about to say. So let me just get this off real quick.
Oh man, and again, we're back at a space to L's point, my favorite part about the show is like how all over the place our topics are, because people still try to act as if they don't have anything to do with each other. Like content creators don't have a say and don't move the meter on political parties and president races. That's why Hillary was so pressed to go do the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? That's why Bernie Sanders is in alignment with the Killer Mikes of the world and all that. Like, come on, fam. Let's stop acting like we don't have power for real. And content creators of color really push the meter of shit.
Why they get certain performers for their rallies?
100%.
All that shit.
100%. So I thought another good point was trying to figure out Apple don't get a lot of shit wrong. But I think they got this podcast shit wrong.
Think so?
That's
go ahead,
exactly.
Go ahead. Set it up.
Like, that's exactly what I was saying. For Spotify to grab Joe Rogan for those 3 years. Mm-hmm. When Apple, it's been on niggas' phones since the beginning.
Yeah.
So at one point in time,
when people were like, "What's this podcast shit on my phone?"
Exactly.
What is this app?
Remember when, I'll never forget, we was at your old spot in Richmond. Mm-hmm. And me and you was talking about it, and there was people there, and they were like, "Oh, that's what that app's for."
Yeah, me and Lex having a whole it's hella people at the house, so we having a whole conversation about. And that's what we bonded over was like, maybe either you said it or I said it. Somehow we talking about Joe Rogan. You listen to Joe Rogan, like,
and next we going pod for pod. But do you fuck with
Combat Jack? Like and everybody's looking like, you two nerd motherfuckers are insane, But it was I still. And one of the people I thought about was Combat Jack, because he's like, when you talk about the godfathers of podcasting, I think of Joe Rogan. Like, I give him his flowers. Mark Maron, Juan Epstein, both Peter Rosenberg and Cypher Sounds, and fucking Combat Jack. And when you talk about catalog and IP, intellectual property, where Combat would be if he was still alive today, and he was already doing business with Spotify. He was the first podcaster, dog. Like, for real. He did that special with Chris Lighty, so it was coming. It was coming, and then he just didn't get to live to see it. So God bless him, his family. A King, I tried to reach out to A King a year or so ago just to check on him because I know he's still doing stuff. And Loudspeakers Network is still doing great. So it's not like Loudspeakers like drowned or crumbled or anything. But in terms of like kicking the door, there was a black man that kicked the door down for podcasts. I just want people to know that for real. Like Combat was at the forefront fighting for the advancement of podcasts.
It's usually a black man that kicks down the door for shit.
Facts.
We got stronger legs.
It's just the way he said it.
Yeah, that's real.
But how retroactively, what do we see DSPs doing? Title from the rip was really good about what they did with Rap Radar. I think what Spotify did will allow, and it's funny how things work, how the market works, and how you're a homeowner now. G, you work in real estate. Like you guys have a great understanding of that, and some of our listeners both are homeowners and own real estate, so they understand like market value and shit for real. And so, what I am encouraged by for content creators is the DSPs of color. With ownership of color, I mean, is what I should say. Your titles and your revolts, what their shares will be valued at because of what Spotify did and the increase. How that'll help Tidal go. Oh, we can invest in a Rap Radar and their visual aspect and really move the meter. When Joe Budden and them's contract comes up for negotiation again, they can push Tidal to give them a bigger bag and shift culture for real. I'm encouraged by that, and I hope that that's the play. I hope that Joe, Hove, and all them sit down and really go, oh, we can really fuck things up. Because I love Spotify. Like, I don't have no beef with Spotify. I love what they're doing with.
You think that'll happen?
I hope it does. I know that's wishful thinking. I hope it does though, because I love the interface of Tidal. I love who's in the building and what it could stand for. And so my hope is that more creators of color, we can go there and up the value of a revolt, up the value of a Tidal, and go do things there, as opposed to having to deal with the complexes and all that shit in the world, man. It's just a wishful thinking part of me.
Yeah, I just take Hove as like a person that, like, he puts business first all the time.
Facts.
But I think he also does hold on to certain things, and I feel like Joe may have rubbed him to the point where there's no business to be done.
Then that's a flaw of Hove. Then if that emotion won't allow him to do business with that, because regardless of how we feel about Joe, that show's massive.
No, it is.
Yeah.
For sure that.
Wasn't they Tidal trying to get Joe at one
Yeah,
point?
they were before they went to Spotify. That was, I think Spotify just outbid them at the end of the day. I think that's all it was. I think it was as simple as the Spotify was willing to give them a bag, and Hove would be the first one to tell you, is like, nigga, you have to go get that then. Like, just on the strength of the culture, you staying here. If and then it's different too. If Tidal's anywhere in the wheelhouse of what Spotify could have given them, then that's a different conversation. But if it's nowhere in the wheelhouse, even I'm not going to tell you, like, no, you need to go get that, because it's only I think their deal was only 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and they don't own Joe's intellectual property. Yeah.
it was another licensing deal. Like, again, like, you got to give a nigga credit. Like, Joe Rogan's got a couple thousand episodes, but it's because his deal that Spotify was able to go give Joe Rogan a super bag. You know what I'm saying? So it was funny. We're trying to speculate like how bitter Joe was gonna sound on Wednesday's episode, and I was like, and L was the first one, and then I came back. I was like, nah, L, he don't sound bitter. Why his bitterness didn't come out until Saturday's episode? Oh, yeah. So I haven't heard it yet. So you were right. Ultimately, you were right.
I didn't hear Saturday yet.
He did the PC shit on Wednesday, And then by the
Yeah,
time
he slept on it.
He was so over it. That's essentially what he said. He was like, I had time to sleep on that nigga deal. I'm pissed. So I thought it was funny.
Only because, bro, I love those guys, man. Like I love my black brothers, but like I really am interested in seeing what goes on in that negotiation table, and like I don't know, man. Because if that number isn't coming back correct, which regardless of like how powerful they are within the culture, you still are trying to get it back from someone.
Absolutely.
So someone can still feel as if they don't need to throw you a Joe Rogan bag.
Yeah.
But if you believe you deserve a Joe Rogan bag, because like Joe Rogan has this extensive catalog and all the stuff that's going on, right? And he's been showing it for years. So that's well worth it, whatever it is. But I don't put it past people believing that they need to have their roses faster.
Man.
I do not put that past folks. Like I really believe that folks will overshoot worth
every time. Yeah, and that's why I think y'all really be looking at me like, what is this nigga talking about? When I be like, no, thank y'all for doing this, because I was in a podcast meetup yesterday, and a large part of the discussion was like monetization, and we haven't attempted to monetize at all. At all. And some people go, that's silly. Nah, I'm from the school. Like, I've been listening to podcasts forever. I know how Mark Maron did it. I know how Joe Rogan did it. I know when they started to monetize, why they monetized. It was products that they used for real.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, oh, you got a bag, let me fuck. No. The brand alignment was so sincere.
All that shit has to go in the same direction.
It's all headed in the same direction. So if it's not brands that we fuck with for real, we don't have no use for it, because our listeners fuck with us differently. They listen to the show for a completely different reason than people tune into other stuff.
They share it for a completely different reason.
You
know what I mean? Like, all that shit is valuable, bro.
Gee, I realized how powerful the show was when how encouraged people are to share our show. Like that part is moving for real, because it's like that. I think that's how you truly determine whether if you got something or not, how encouraged people are to go, nah, you need to listen to this. That word of mouth and just putting people on, like it's just infectious.
Shit, I got folks that tell me that they listen to it at the job, and like how that should be blasting.
Man.
And folks just like, be listening over and like, and then just getting in on the topics. You know what I mean? Like it opens up that line of communication. You know what I mean? So
and that's all it is. And I hope for new listeners, old listeners, if there's ever been anything that is felt like that has rubbed you the wrong way, that's kind of a part of the exchange. Like intentions are all encompassing. We love all people, all races. No, it ain't even no PSA for that. It's just like, no, this is what real dialogue and individuality looks like. We don't always fucking agree. We don't always have the same takes. It's just it's what it's supposed to be. Ownership of self is real freedom, and that's what we advocate for on the show first and foremost before anything. And the vision of it is free people of color, but men specifically with free flowing thoughts that are rooted in the advancement of all people, but mainly ours, and giving voices and spaces to people that look like us that don't have voices and spaces.
Yeah, just believing that it's okay to just speak your mind, okay to do the things that you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, that's really the vibe that folks is trying to put out there, is that don't get it twisted. Like niggas know how to move, you know what I mean? But truth be told, most times like niggas are saying exactly what is going on, exactly what's on your mind, and then it's okay with the consequences. Yeah. Like, best believe shit that I say, I'm okay with every last one of the consequences.
I know, yeah, all day long, and that's the other part too, highlighting that, nigga. What's up? Man. You mad for real? Come chop it up. By the time you leave, like, oh, I fuck with them niggas.
Yeah,
basically.
I fuck with them. They raw. L had me dying yesterday. This nigga goes, he showed me the topics before we text them to you. And he had some great ones there, but the one that hit me in the face, this nigga goes, what if, wait, no, you say it, because I don't want to get it wrong, because the impact of it was the Y2K shit.
Oh, got it.
What?
Yeah, I was just like, man, imagine what happened in 2020 happened in 2000. Because, like, I'm thinking of the whole Y2K scare.
Bruh.
And, like, how in a frenzy everybody was. And just imagine, like, we got 3 months into 2000.
Man.
And we had somebody pass each one of those months, and then it was like, it wouldn't have been Kobe back then, but it would have been somebody of that stature. And then after that, the world gets sick. Bro, we ain't making out 2000, bro. That might have been the end of mankind.
For real.
If what happened in 2020 happened in 2000. So I just wanted to commend everybody in the world that we've grown that much in 20 years, bro. Because, like...
Bro, the news had us sick for Y2K. There was Y2K pamphlets, how to, what you should be purchasing, water, canned goods, flashlights, batteries.
Oh, you think we was out of tissue and out of water this time around, boy?
And people just freak. And then the countdown came.
Niggas was waiting.
Niggas was waiting, and then it was just
building
like
bomb shelters and
nothing happened. All right,
I bought all these guns and ammo
for nothing. The world didn't, you know what I'm saying? So this, when G had that, I was like, yo, because I remember how terrified I was. Y2K. Every year at my grandma's house, they do the countdown. She made gumbo and the black eyed, all the black shit you supposed to eat on the black eyed peas and green, the black eyed peas for good luck and had everything.
The New Year's black eyed peas,
man. They in the house like, hey, if we going out with a bang. So they in there big faded this year. Bro, I went outside. I love my grandma's house to this day. My aunt lives there now, and I still love it. I still have all my little favorite places. In her backyard, in her little courtyard, was this little corner. For whatever reason, it was just my spot. Like I wrote my first rap in that corner. Yeah. Like I went in that corner and just closed my eyes as I could hear them counting down through the window. I was like, "Fuck it, if we going, we going." I was just like, looked up, was like,
Haley's Comet.
Like, nigga, we still here? Bro, I was so annoyed, bro. Like, I was like, so nothing happened. But we're talking about months leading up to, turn of the century.
Nah, it was nuts. It was nuts. That was one of the coldest countdowns, man.
Where did that, do we remember where that started from?
What, that year 2000?
Just the Y2K conversation in general. Like, because it was branded. Like, I'll never forget that. And nothing happened.
I don't know. Internet wasn't really popping.
Was it because of the calendars? The Mayan calendar or something like that?
No, Mayan calendar I think was later. I think
Mayan calendar was
2012.
That just happened.
So that was another scare, was Mayan calendar. But this one, man, I don't know. I don't know where that came from besides the fact that ain't nobody seen 1,000 drop. So folks just naturally, fear took over. But other than that, bro, it just had to come from somebody that was super stuck on a conspiracy theory and just ran with that shit. Like, you know how people go down a YouTube wormhole? It was something like that, probably on a radio somewhere, just spewing this shit daily before it just like spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
I remember they were talking about computers. The computers can't roll 00, so they're just gonna shut off, and then all technology's gone. And then
It's a wrap.
We go back to the Stone Age.
Who comes up with this shit?
That's nuts.
And then sells it to the whole world. Like, how does that continuously happen, y'all? For real?
I don't know, but they had to have a personality like LeVar Ball
to really sell it.
Yeah, like to get that
They had
shit
to walk in
to
the
get that
meeting.
shit across the
Big
entire world.
Back, baby. Hey, say what y'all want. I fuck with LeVar. Like,
That's my nigga,
for
bro.
real, bro, that nigga's comedy.
Bro, I try to tell you, man, the BBB estate, man. Try to tell you, my man out there. My man caught a lick real quick. About to keep it going.
Hit a stupid lick. Real quick, I wanted to send a shout out to T with the Double D podcast. Shay and our cousin Shay, she put me on. They do a great show, like an excellent show. Danielle and Denora, if I think I'm getting their name right, but I tuned in to this week's episode, and it was when did or what they were essentially talking about the difference between talking. Let me not fuck it up because it was such a great topic and I listened to it and I was like they ain't telling no lies here, but just because we were men and we're toxic, we gonna come in here and act like we got beef with them because they was making too good of points. Like they represent the version of woman that is like, oh y'all raw. For real, bro. Like this is an excellent show where you know how they try to pit genders against genders, so you got to come and just counter it. So on for the sake of playing into all those stereotypes, you're gonna shit on their topics for real. But it was great. It was brilliant. It was talking versus dating, and their guest was damn, what's her name? She's tight. She went viral on TikTok.
Are they toxic women?
No, they're incredible. Ain't shit toxic.
How about I say? Because they could, we could be Toxic Mike and they could be Nora Jones. You know what I mean? Remember
Katie Florence. She went viral on TikTok and she's just funny as shit. But she did a skit talking versus dating, and it was like just trying to figure out when you cross which threshold with the other. And they had some valid ass points, and well, basically what I was gonna come in here and say and just be like, oh, y'all just choose trash ass niggas, basically. So the ownership come back to y'all, Danielle, and that's on y'all. You know that's some bullshit though.
Toxic Mike is out.
You know,
Toxic Money.
Now I just really love.
I rock with it, man.
I really love shows like that can have healthy discussion they had plenty of ownership in it. Like that's what was dope. That was my point.
Yeah, that's important.
They were talking about, it wasn't always a they. Oh, niggas is trash. They do this. It was like, nah, I just be choosing some trash ass niggas, or I did this, or I did this, and I was like, I've never heard young women of color talk like this. That shit was impressive as fuck. Because it was everything. It had all the information there that anyone else would have. It was just the next step. The next step of like, hey, this is taking place when we interact with on the dating scene. This is happening, but this is what I did. It always ended with I, and I don't. Perhaps they were aware of it. Maybe that wasn't. I don't know, but I just know listening to it. Because what happens is like immediately the sexes get pitted against each other. And Shay was like, all right, go. I know you're going to go in on it. What was wrong with it? I was like, I agreed with everything they said. Like every single thing they said, I agreed with. Like there wasn't anything that I was like, nah, they tripping. Nah, it was a great dialogue. It was great. It's a great show. And I just wanted to salute them. So T with the Double D podcast, find them on Apple, follow them on IG and give them, it's just entertaining dialogue.
All I know is that I stumbled across underground meeting of young African American professionals that are trying to figure out the dating scene.
Really?
And when I say I was in that thing for about 20 minutes
and then cut
before I had to get the fuck up out of there because like I don't think people get it.
Wasn't enough ownership in that room?
Huh?
Wasn't enough ownership in that room?
Bro, it just turned into a battle of the sexes, and I was just like, y'all still not gonna get anywhere. Like this is the reason why the dating scene is the way it is.
Up, yeah. The battle of the sexes thing is strange.
Like I don't see why y'all still pitting yourselves against each other. Yeah. If you're longing for a significant other, why are you still breaking down what is bad as opposed to giving what your good traits are?
Yeah.
Like figuring out what your good traits are and then putting those on the front line. And then how about y'all see who matches there? Huh. But I didn't have enough time to like bring that to the group, so I just did.
But again, the fact that
I was like, y'all well within this conversation, bro. It's time to go.
But it was like, I'm all about self-growth. I'm not here to help you motherfuckers. Bye.
I was like, this is interesting. All right, y'all. Peace.
So, but niggas kill Future, but Future comes out and does 190, goes gold immediately. And so y'all still gonna try to convince me y'all don't like toxic niggas? All right, bet. You could pop that shit if you want to.
That was the underlining theme, though. That's the thing, is that there's a reason why all this shit is in the air. and that's because you're attracted to it. It's like fucking sugar. You know what I mean? Like you can't help but digest it if you know what it tastes like. Like you just keep going for it. I don't get it, but that's what y'all out here doing.
No, I wanted to highlight that show because of that reason. I've been to a handful of those trying to date and be black in the scene and how trash it is. I've been to a few of those and got what was happening, but it was starting to feel like a battle of the sexes. And it's like I didn't think that was the point, yo. I thought the point was to come in here and get to know each other for real, and have some empathy for one another's plight and stuff like that. Why would the phone not ring? That's weird. Beanie, you on a podcast? You on a podcast right now? Say hi. L
Bean dip.
Kuda love. Oh, see, Tay gonna talk about greetings. She always try to cannonball. Hi, Papa.
As soon as Tay see a mic.
Hi, Stink. Cut. Hey, so we was talking about how much Ty be cheating at Phase 10. That's why we called y'all. Hey, look under his chair. He always hide cards under his chair. Love it. Hi, Auntie. Good. Cardi Carr. Hi, Carr. Where's I? He beating everybody. Is I beating everybody?
Zion that Call of Duty.
We love y'all. We was calling to mess with y'all about Phase 10. Okay.
Love.
That's hecka funny. It's like, look what we playing right now.
Man. That shit's addicting.
It is addicting. We had hella shit, but I wanted to get to y'all topics because y'all came with heat this week.
Nah, we get to keep it lit, man. I think we had really good topics this week, so I kind of want to get through them for sure.
No.
Throughout the whole deal.
But we not off you though, G, because you got
your
last two.
I'm still going.
How you end up with a fiance and no butt, and then 50 cat calling Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
All right,
Nigga,
so the fiance no butt was just a funny quick thought. Like that was like because I be watching that shit out of Shark Tank, but it was they was
Hold up. He said, I came up with that thought. Whoa, Shark
Tank. This nigga's crazy.
This is why I can't wait for the rest of this.
bro.
L's a sicko.
All right, so
the shit you think about watching Shark Tank, G.
bro. So they were coming out, and I think they were like promoting this like this wakeboard or something like that, like some wakeboard. It was a terrible pitch, but when they walked in, first thing that came to mind was the dude was walking in, and then the girl was walking in. She had a bikini on. With the life vest on, and she was about to get on a little wakeboard thing. But when she walked in, I thought fish, like fish out of water. That's what it looked like. All right, so then they got to the moment, like got to pitching or whatever, and then she gets on the wakeboard, and like she lays down on it first, and then her entire back just goes into the board, and I was like, I really hope that that's not a model that he chose. And then the next thing he says is, oh, and then my lovely fiance. And I was like, oh, shit, my mind just exploded. Because I was like, oh, so who chooses a fiance without a butt? I was confused, bro. Like, I was like, oh, okay, this makes so... now my mind is blown because I have a question for the guys that I wanted to know, like, what was the... Like, I don't know if this is like a mic question, but like, what is like, for sure, gotta have... feature that your significant other will have. Like for one, like bro, I can like that is a must. You don't have it doesn't have to be large. It just has to be one there.
What's crazy is this is a perfectly fine conversation to have, and somebody is gonna find a way to like shit on it. This is a great conversation for me. Ass is definitely an important part.
Yeah, because I mean, like I don't 100%. See 100%. Like when you lay down on your stomach. when you lay down on your stomach, just if you're just laying down, like if I walk in the crib and you lay down on your stomach, there has to be like a hump back there, right? Like it can't be like.
Gee, you were doing so good.
It can't look like a part of the couch, right? Or maybe what happens is that like how you don't realize it is that that's usually like where you put a pillow at, I guess. So like if you would just put a pillow over it, people can for a while not even know that. So probably he put a ring on it not knowing until that pitch that she not no
What's even worse is I'm looking at it through the camera.
How serious he looked.
It's so serious.
Ew.
I was really trying to wrap my brain around this, man. Like I forgot all about their pitch after that, man, because I just had questions on like the deciding process. That's it.
That is hilarious.
So of course they didn't get like a offer.
So you think it's because she didn't have no ass?
It's attributed to the bottle, bro. Like, yeah.
So he should have upscaled. That's fucked up.
You should have got the booty shorts.
I mean, or just not come out showing, like, you know what I mean, like put sweats on or something like that, or put down.
Do you want her to do the demo on the surfboard in sweats because she don't have no ass? That's what you came up with.
Yeah, the loose things, the loose ones too, like the one where the
when they fold it over.
You know it.
You
got it.
See, we went from being like a good, wholesome, balanced podcast. Now we sound toxic for sure. We should play some Future right here.
Hey man, just questions, man. Just questions.
And then what did 50 do to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Oh man, so they were telling a story about 50, right? And 50 told a story about himself basically. So this is just how petty 50 is. So he was at somewhere out, I think it was like an airport or somewhere random, and he saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So he ran up on him and was like, Kareem, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's dope to see you here and all that stuff, right? Like, super excited. And then Kareem looks down at him and is like, yeah, whatever, right? And just looked off 50, right? So 50 right after that was like, well, fuck you then. I don't fuck with the sky hook anyway. They can just start. So it immediately put me in the mindset of like the cat calls are going in New York, where like the woman walks down the street and like they be throwing they lines at her, and then she ain't listening. And after that, he's like, well, fuck you then, bitch. Like, so that's why I was like, 50 was out here cat calling Kareem.
They go, well, fuck you then. I don't fuck with the sky hook. No
bro,
way,
I don't fuck with the
crazy.
sky hook. Bro, this nigga told that story, bro. Like that's just how wild 50 is, man.
Oh my gosh, you gotta fuck with 50. Cause I can hella picture it too. That's the crazy part. Like
bro,
I can totally
this
picture
nigga
it.
jump.
I can picture him going from this little smile to when he just.
Bro, just that quick though. Like the funny, like how quickly you can go from like admiration to hate. Like nigga, fuck you then, bro. Like nigga, thought this was. Think I'm 50 Cent.
I don't fuck with this guy hook. No way, it's crazy.
Telling a nigga that I don't fuck with your signature move is hilarious. Like in just everyday life.
Can we? Poe hit me and was like, or no, he hit us and was like, niggas really let Silk the Shocker ever exist, and I was like, don't do that on my phone.
Yeah, I was mad about that too.
Don't
bro.
do that on
that
my
shit,
phone,
bro.
Don't do that on my phone.
There shall be no ill will talked.
I don't like that. Like I know niggas now are like, oh, Silk the Shocker was rapping off beat. Like, cool. Y'all had y'all fun now, but if you wasn't outside for the No Limit shit, I don't want to hear nothing from you, bro. Like, charge it to the game, and the discographies of the No Limit releases is up there. Mm-hmm. It's up there for sure. So Poe goes, oh no, I didn't listen to it real time. Oh, I don't care about nothing you're talking about. Nigga. Nope, I'm not about to let y'all get that off.
Not at all.
Nope.
There shall be no Silk slander around here.
And when It Ain't My Fault came out, nigga, I remember that feeling. I remember the radio playing that over and over again, and then the remix came. Oh, It Ain't My Fault is Mystical though.
No,
that's Silk. No, that's Silk shit.
No, he's out. Yeah.
And then
the Maya, bro.
The Maya
like,
shit,
man,
yeah.
like we wouldn't know who Maya is without Silk, bro. Cause like the way Silk put on that song, it accentuated, nigga, what Maya was doing. Like it wouldn't be that big of a track.
So it got me to retroactively judging art that doesn't age well. Should we be even allowed to even have those conversations for real?
Not if you weren't outside or listening to that at the time.
I think that's the part. If you wasn't outside, I don't really want to hear from you. The versus thing, I didn't like. We got to have a discussion about how them round like Nelly versus Luda, for example.
Nelly did that to himself though.
Because of the internet shit, or
Huh?
or because
No,
of the songs he chose?
just he wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
Like Nelly was tripping.
No, he was tripping, but song for song, he was fucking Luda up them first few rounds.
It just wasn't presentation wise. Like
Gotcha.
a lot of that shit is
Okay.
presentation.
Okay.
Like Luda came to that battle like he was like, you know,
Going to do Fast and Furious 17.
like he's doing good right now.
And like, I used to do radio,
Yeah, that's
and
it.
I know how to go up against other radio stations.
That's a.
I got it.
It was our presentation. It was just that Nelly just didn't look like a person that you would hang out with in that moment. Like he looked like the annoying partner. Like, bro, get up off my phone, man.
And that's important. That's very important in the versus battles. I do understand. Okay, so never
like
never
you
mind.
got hits and shit, but nigga, I'm not about to hang out with you.
I was staying on the No Limit shit. The We TV beef with the Growing Up Hip Hop cast. Dame was sort of the first one to kind of have the fallout with all of them. And then we see Romeo and P. A bunch of the cast is left though, if I'm not mistaken, just because of how the business was handled. But I thought your man.
Nah, they there.
I thought your man Lil Twist made a great point.
Bro, Lil Twist is my nigga, bro.
I thought Twist made a great point.
Lil Twist is my nigga, bro. And it's crazy that came from Twist
Yeah.
and didn't come from P. That's the part that was confusing to me. Like I think like P's blinded by overprotecting his son. Because
who's suffering from that.
Yeah, because he didn't do a good job at letting him be able to go off on his own. Like he didn't do a great job at that, so now he has to fight his battles for him. Like for the rest of his life until P is no longer here, he's going to be fighting his battles for him.
So Twist's whole point was they can't manipulate what you don't give them.
That's what I didn't understand about being on a reality show, bro. Like I don't care. Like they came to the reality show and they've been, because I actually have, like I do watch that show though. So like it wasn't like producers are just producing. Mm-hmm. They're producing the shit that you give them. Mm-hmm. Since Twist has been on that show, he's been immaculate at, for one, increasing his stature on it by just bringing the shit to the show that he wants them to see. Mm-hmm. And that shit naturally is just hilarious. Like, I could see how he got Justin Bieber in trouble for so many years. Yeah. Like, I could definitely see why Justin Bieber had to go find God after Twist.
Twist be on.
Oh, at all times, though.
Really?
Like, he really is young Wayne. Like,
I was about to say, nigga, look who his...
He's like Wayne back when they used to have Wayne at Freaknik or whatever the hell that is back
in. 14 and
bro,
shit,
like, in the mix. Like, that's how Twist is.
Like... Yeah. Kind of like how Juvie was to Wayne, mm-hmm. Wayne was to Twist.
Got you. Damn, that's crazy. So, cause you watch the show too?
No, I don't.
No, G, what you?
I watch it cause I'm so interested in how celebrity children just exist. Mm. You know what I mean? Like their existence it can go so many different ways. So I'm just infatuated with how that is. You know what I mean? Because each case is different, and you see it. You can tell which celebrity kids there was a parent around, or there was someone that was substituted for the parent that was able to keep them on like the business track, like thinking about how they look, like how you're projecting out to the world. You know what I mean? Like the family name that you're passing on, or even like if you're going off to get your own, how that looks, how that's presented. You can tell like the people that have that. Yeah. But for the vast majority, you can tell that they came from an era where those people, they were full stream ahead on their career and they didn't spend no time with the children. You can see that. Like they just have basically like the mailbox money.
Wow. You
know what I mean? Like you see that across the board. Like folks that's struggling right now, that's all stuck in that Bow Wow age, mm-hmm. like where like, but Bow Wow has a reason to be stuck in that because he was actually lit at a very young age, so he has a reason to do that. Most of these people, their parents were the lit one. They just receive the mailbox money, and they believe that they are bigger than the parent because of now we're in a social media age and we have all these followers. Like there's so much confusion right there.
Jesus, man.
So that's it's a lit show just looking at that dynamic the entire time.
That lens, yeah, the delusion. I've only seen it from afar. Fat Joe's son, how's he doing? I worry about that kid all the time.
You should.
Yeah.
There's no hope for Fat Joe's son.
Jesus, man.
Like Fat Joe is talking about leaving rap in order to become a father, and bro, now, nah, bro, because he had to look back at that shit like, oh, he's
gone for real.
Gone. I never realized that he was gone. I just wanted him to, look over the store and shit. Like, oh, that nigga really is that way.
It's like I built him. Oh, jeez, that makes me. I saw it and I was like, damn. Hopefully, this is just a part of his act.
It's no way to get out of that.
Jeez.
But yeah, for the P thing, no, I just don't understand. Like, I get that they set up, they decided to go onto the show initially as a business move with the Simmons, but I don't get not realizing that it's a reality show and it's grown. Like it's a big thing now.
Yeah.
And how do you not realize that, yes, okay, maybe you want out of it, but to try to move it over to be like, oh, they're not interested in promoting like our religious beliefs and our business ventures and blah, blah, blah. Like, nigga, that's a big ass cop out to me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, cause there's nobody that's interested in folks' religious beliefs that didn't start off that way.
Yep.
Like, nigga, you didn't start the show on religious beliefs. So why do you think you just about to insert that and people about to be on board?
Yeah.
Like, you gonna have 0 people watching, which you can see that they've cycled out your part of it. It's not. It wasn't your decision. I'm pretty sure. Nigga, motherfuckers ain't trying to listen to you talk about this high and mighty shit all day.
Yeah, that's me. Damn, now I want to watch it though.
No, it's lit.
Yeah, now the whole twist, because you came on here.
No, Twist is.
You came
Twist
on here a few
dope,
weeks
man.
ago and said something about Twist. I was like, where the fuck did he see Little Twist at? Like, what?
Nah, bro, Twist is dope, man, for sure.
That makes me happy because I always liked Twist when he was a kid.
Just look on, if you get a chance to watch it, just watch probably like the last 2 episodes or something like that. But it's when.
Oh no! I've already made my mind up. I'm watching it now because now I got to know what's going on.
Yeah, but watch that part though, because P and Romeo wants to do a sit down with the rest of the cast, right? To tell them about themselves, right? And then you got to see the scene where they present that to Twist because they have a middleman to tell Twist that P and them want to sit down with him for some shit that he said about Romeo, right? This nigga Twist is like, oh, y'all got me fucked up. So tell P to hit my phone. That nigga didn't even say nothing about Romeo. He said, hey, tell P to hit my phone. Cause like all this stuff for the cameras.
I'm not talking to Romeo,
bro. All this stuff for the cameras, bro, is whatever, bro. We ain't talking none of that shit, bro. This nigga keeps it so G the entire time. I'm like, I just know those personalities. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, this isn't for show. All this other shit is for show.
Man, okay, growing up hip hop. Meanwhile, while we're talking hip hop, the last 2 videos, D12 video and now Big Pimpin' is on. Big Pimpin' could not be made today for sure. But the D12 shit is funny because my dumb ass was, when I was selling burnt CDs, was selling Devil's Night at church at Sunday school when it came out. I had orders for Devil's Night at school and at Sunday school, and was listening to Devil's Night in church. What's wrong with me, man?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. R.I.P. Pimp C, man. Damn.
Definitely that.
This looked like it was just a good time, though. It's like it was a great time.
It was a real fun time.
Oh, this was an amazing time. That's like the last time you can do any of these things.
This just looks like a great time. Damn, looked like he tore his ACL right there, though.
For sure.
Jeez. We got anything? Did we miss anything?
Bro,
you guys want to
tearing your ACL on the set is nuts.
Ain't
Ain't that what Drake did?
Yeah.
Was he on the sand?
Or was it on the stage?
No, was he on
stage? He
was
on
it on
stage.
set though? Like, was it during a video or was it?
Nah, he was performing. He was performing.
Oh, it was a
in
show.
the middle of performance.
Yeah.
And then Drake was like, damn, I didn't know you really couldn't walk. Or something. Wayne said that shit to him. He was like, damn, this nigga get hurt for real. Some shit.
Oh man.
But Wayne's level of not knowing about anything outside of himself is hilarious.
Dame is just pouring champagne on women this entire video, bro. Like, he just walked past 3 women and just poured, like literally just walked past them and just poured it on.
And then he does it again. And then
Bro, lost the entire time.
Now on the camera, you're losing your mind.
So is this the moment that Jay started separating himself?
It had to have been. Like I'm somebody has to tell the
Because was that like video that went viral? Like, is that after this video?
Oh yeah.
Like when they was in that interview or whatever, and Dan was losing it, and Jay is just looking into space.
That's
like,
well after, because Big Pimpin' is fucking volume 3. Yeah, that was way later. They made what they do after that. They did 4 more albums after that, after volume 3. Dynasty, Blueprint 2, Black Album. Is that it?
I think so.
Dynasty, Blueprint 2, Black Album. Yeah, maybe so. Holy shit.
Yeah, something you want to talk about, Lex?
I think we touched on everything.
We hit a good week, man. I appreciate you fellas. I had one topic, but I hate that we didn't loop it into the whole political rant that I went on earlier. But the Black Voices for Trump shit came across my TV, and I was like, that's a thing.
Black Voices for Trump?
Yeah, it was after the Joe Biden shit. Them niggas was on the news, and I was like, wait. What's going on? Like, why is that a thing? And why is it promoted that way? And why was the news talking about it like that? That shit was, what? This world is fucked, dude. That's all I can say. And they were dead ass serious too. Like, bro was in the camera, and they were like, we finally got him. They did it. And I was like, that's not how this works, bro. Yeah. So.
Hey, man. That was on TV?
That was on TV, dog.
That's hilarious.
That was on TV. That was a thing. What you laughing at? What you got?
No, just that was a thing.
That was a thing.
That was a thing.
What we got? That's it, man. Happy Memorial Day. Last night I had the itis and was like sleep with my eyes open because we ate so much food. I envision a day like that tomorrow, but having the itis with your eyes open is fucking terrifying.
Bro, I had that shit sitting on free couch, man. I was just looking at the wall, bro. I'm just feeling good though.
It's like, yeah, not bad at all. Just like,
yeah, just looking, just like this is bliss.
And Freak threw down too. Salute
yeah,
to
he
Freak.
did. Good shit, man.
Freak and Teen did like stuffed salmon and stuffed chicken yesterday, and potatoes, and then Freak did this insane chicken tri-tip, and it was a good day.
Yeah, I didn't have red meat in so long. It was just like it was a salivating moment. Like, yes, finally.
The sidekick won.
Beef.
Sidekick won.
Hey, man, do y'all feel that like folks were like more than susceptible to getting this virus because like 75% of the world is gluten free now? Like the more that we do not, the more that we take out of like our
Diets.
yeah, like the more that is just not a part of it anymore, the less likely we. Because I know, like, when I was a kid, this is gonna be funny because it's like, damn, you about to be an old nigga right now. But when I was a kid, eating like frozen burritos and shit, religiously, frozen burritos, shit, hella bags of chips and just cereal and all kind of shit, right? Yeah, top ramen, all that shit. But packing those things into the body, and that was like the only like thing that was your food, or whatever, right?
It's fucking affordable, dude.
Yeah, but packing that into your body, right? I could have. Coronavirus wouldn't want me.
We don't know. Leave him alone.
Like
Coronavirus wouldn't want me.
Coronavirus look at me like, bro.
Just touched down. Nope.
Nah, you know what?
You're not a prime.
Now that I think about it, bro, I'm gonna go elsewhere. I don't think I'm gonna head north on this one. You know what I mean? Like it's just interesting. It's just interesting.
Coronavirus wouldn't want me. It's fucking.
It's interesting, bro, because like if you think about it, because like, as you get older, you learn, like, you get more information, right? So like now you have the parents who, you know, they have a child and they put them into like basically like an incubator type of bubble.
Yeah, my kid can't look at screens for the first year and can't ever have meat.
Yeah, you can't touch the kid and.
Yo, that's I don't know. I just growing up, I don't remember knowing so many people that were alert that had gluten allergies, peanut allergies. Like I didn't know any. We just because it like it was like, yo, this is what's in the house. You either gonna eat or fucking starve type shit. Like you said your dad was like almost Lex's dad almost killed him basically.
Yep. I was allergic to shrimp. I'm allergic to shellfish, and my dad, nigga, shellfish, that's the expensive fish. You better eat this shit. Took a bite, throat closing up. That motherfucker just told me to go lay down. My mom came home and rushed me to the emergency room. How does that work out? Nigga, lay down. Oh, you can't breathe? Lay down. Nigga, go to sleep.
Bro.
Nigga, this is the last nap I'm ever take.
Bro, the dad way, man.
That's totally the dad way.
That's why. Damn.
You ain't allergic. You just being soft.
So, yeah.
Dad,
feel me?
I'm going to die. I don't think that's being soft, man. What are you talking about?
And the fucked up thing was I never got allergy shots before that.
Yeah.
But I just knew I would just be like, nah, that's not right. I'm not supposed to be eating that. And I used to eat almost everything except for that.
Yeah.
And my mom used to always fry me chicken. So she fried me chicken and she made the shrimp for everybody else. And this motherfucker was like, nah, you don't get the chicken. You got to eat this.
It's like, bro, what are you out to prove? Like,
Damn, Gate. Took away your options, bro.
Nigga took away my option.
That's hella funny.
Man.
Yeah, that just crossed my mind, man. I was just like, damn, like
Corona wouldn't want me.
Corona wouldn't want me, man. Like it's you know, no hard feelings to Corona or nothing like that. But like, bro, the body wasn't able.
No, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. We do appreciate y'all fucking with us on the weekly. Anyone that continues to tune in on YouTube. Remember to subscribe to the channel, get the alerts, and watch the premieres. Engage and share. Everybody that streams the audio on Monday, we're gonna start getting the clips out faster. Just give you guys more time with the clips during the week before the full episode is up. But shout out to Lex for doing all that hard work, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
Everybody
Appreciate
that's
you.
been tapping in with the videos. It's been fun to do. Keep it rocking. It's been another episode of Meet the Brave. We'll see y'all next week.
Love.
Yes.